Hi, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, president of Trident Concepts, and I'm here with Brownells Daily Defense to talk to you about a gun pass. So, what is a gun pass? Well, a gun pass is an activity that I will take a firearm that I'm carrying and I'll pass it to a trusted family member or a trusted individual. So, who might be trusted family members or trusted individuals? Well, it could be my spouse, it could be my significant other, it could be a close friend. But the key thing about it is, what's the reason that you're performing this gun pass? Well, most of the time, the reason is because that individual, for whatever reason, is not carrying a firearm. There could be a lot of reasons for that. For instance, they're probably dressed fairly nice in evening wear that really prevents them from carrying a firearm. So I end up carrying that spare firearm for them. And there's a whole host of other reasons why that might be important. But those are the reasons. Some of the situations that you might need to pass the gun. So now you're carrying that spare firearm, and now what are the situations where I might need to pass it? Well, it could be anything from perhaps a active shooter at the restaurant that you're enjoying a nice dinner. Could be perhaps at the theater that you're out in, all of a sudden there's some sort of disturbance that you need to react to. The situation can be one where what you're hoping to be able to do is arm that second member of your party so that they can protect themselves and that the two of y'all can work together as a team to try to negotiate the challenge that you're facing. When we talk about the gun pass, there are some things that we need to talk about with regards to safety. So, number one, I'm not going to pass a firearm that individual is not familiar with. Right? That's a very important thing. They have to have enough familiarity to where they can be safe with it. So passing them a foreign object that they really haven't ever seen is not in your best interest. The second thing is that you need to make sure that there's an understanding about what they're going to be doing with that firearm. For instance, that firearm is going to be for their own personal protection as well as to protect me, to help me with an extra set of eyes. The components of firearm safety need to be well understood. So for instance, the 4 firearm safety rules, they need to adhere to those and they need to understand them at a very intimate level because they potentially are going to be moving in a very dynamic environment and you want to make sure that they are moving in a safe manner. The other thing that we talk about is it's probably in your best interest to do, or at least to do some dry runs, some practice, some training with this type of a gun pass. First, how are you going to hand the firearm? What's the best method to hand it in a safe manner? So there's a couple of ways that we talk about. As I pull the firearm out, I would grab the slide with my weak hand and then I would extend the firearm so that the end user, whoever that other individual is, can reach in there and safely grab that firearm. And that can work whether I'm holding the gun in my left hand or if I have to hold the gun in my right hand to pass. So whatever the situation is, that's a good, safe way to do it because what I'm doing is I'm exposing the frame, the grip portion, for them to safely gain control. And when they're safely gaining control, they're also putting putting their trigger finger in the home position. So this type of practice is important so that you can kind of work some of these bugs out in advance. Then it obviously extends into some other training scenarios where you talk about what are you going to do and how are you going to work together? Like what are the major objectives of this? Well, we want to be able to work as a pair. We want to be able to make sure that we can move together. We want to make sure that we're safe as we're doing so. And communication comes into the equation. So it's a nice opportunity for you to bring in your significant other, your spouse, a trusted family member, trusted individual into your defensive plan, defensive strategies to kind of help bolster them, bring them up a little bit, or potentially even bring them to a level where you're assisting the other person and gaining a little bit more experience in this type of tactical scenario or this train of thought that we're looking at. It's a good way to kind of walk or baby step into those types of scenarios. So whatever questions that you might have, I'd love to hear them. Go ahead and place them down below. Until then, I'm Jeff Gonzalez. Take care and stay safe.